Now it's time for our way too early to predict champions for each series. We'll start off with Alex and go around the circle here with NASCAR. Who do you think is going to win the Cup Series championship?
I think this is the year of Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson's going to get his second Cup title.
I'm going 24 in 24. I'm going William Byron.
Oh. Ed, any thoughts on the NASCAR?
I think you're asking the wrong person. Pick a name out of a hat. That's what I'll go for.
We'll go with. That'll be interesting, Ben.
Again, it's way too early for a reason, and I think maybe I'm just saying this because I think it would be a great storyline. But it's been a long time since RCR's won a Cup championship. All due respect to Austin Dillon, I would love to see somebody win the Triple Crown of NASCAR championships because I know he's got a truck title and an Xfinity title. But based on how last season ran, I don't expect him to be in contention for a Cup championship in 2024. But Kyle Busch is a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. I think he surprised a lot of people with how quickly he got up to speed with his new team. I think there might be a good partnership brewing there. And if you think of when Kyle's won his championships in 2015, 2019, 4 years later, last year was 4 years since he won his second championship with Gibbs. He's kind of due for another championship run. I think Kyle Busch might go on a bit of a surprise title run in 2024.
I'm going to go with a driver that I think is being overlooked, but he's going to show up and it's going to make it another championship for Penske. Joey Logano, the even streak year pattern is going to continue on. He is my pick. Matt, we're going to start with you for the next one. IndyCar, who is going to be the champion?
Ooh. I mean, much to Ben's point for NASCAR, it's far too early to predict. I'd love to see Dixon get another one, but I think it might be his teammate. I'll go with Alex Palou and continue the run that he's on.
Palou, Ed, are you thinking Palou too?
I was thinking maybe Marcus Ericsson because I think he's adapted really well. Is he still at Chip Ganassi?
He's at Andretti.
He moved to Andretti, didn't he? Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm not so confident now. But I think I'll stick with it. We'll see what happens. Because I think he's adapted so well. And, I never know. Andretti might get lucky. It's been a while since Andretti have won a title in IndyCar, though. I can't remember the last time that happened.
Ryan Hunter-Reay in 2012, I believe.
That was it, yeah. So over 10 years. Ooh, there's a good spot there. I should have gone for Newgarden.
Oh, man.
Matt, to your point, 7 is a magic number when it comes to motorsports championships. You got 3 of them in NASCAR. You got a couple in Formula One, and you got AJ Foyt in American open wheel racing history. I think Scott Dixon might join him in 2024. He's always going to be in the mix for a championship. If you look at where he's finished in the points, really every year that he's been in the IndyCar series, with the exception of 2004, one of the worst title defenses of all time, but he never has repeated a season like that since. He's always been in contention. His consistency has been absolutely remarkable, and he might just be the one to beat next season. Scott Dixon's going to be my way too early pick.
I'm going to go, I think I'll go with, Alex Palou. It's hard to beat what you got going. Alex, for IndyCar.
So I think Alex Palou's probably the smart answer, but that's not what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Scott McLaughlin because he gets better and better every year. And I think if he can just get the consistency figured out, he's going to be really, really hard to beat. I know Palou had like an insane season, no finish worse than 8th. I don't know if he can replicate that, but McLaughlin, I really think if he can be consistent, he's the guy.
That's going to be interesting. Ed, starting with you, and I think this is going to be a very quick one. Who is the Formula One champion of 2024 going to be?
Oh, it wouldn't happen to be Verstappen, would it? I think we talked about this already. Unless, no, I don't think Daniel Ricciardo is going to get massively promoted into the main team mid-season and get enough points to beat Verstappen despite starting in a racing bull, I guess is what we have to call AlphaTauri, which was previously Toro Rosso, which was previously Minardi, of course. But anyway, yeah, I think it's easily going to be Verstappen.
Ben,
I tell you, I think Logan Sargent's going to shock the world. The first American F1 champion.
Let's go.
I was too harsh on him.
No, of course. I mean, we don't even have to ask the question for this one. Of course, it's going to be Max Verstappen. Of course, he's going to clinch in several races early, and I think we're going to make it unanimous here as Casey adds on him.
Casey's getting impatient.
Matt, Alex, anybody you see besides Verstappen being the champion?
No.
No.
But
Sorry to
I will
disappoint
say,
everybody.
Carlos Sainz is going to go back-to-back P7.
The Grid Network P7 award.
The P7 award.
Yes.
That'll likely be coming back considering the way Formula One has gone. So, all right. Well, next up, I know not everybody watches supercars. Who are you going to go with? I'll start with you, Matt, and then we'll go around.
It's wide open this year. I am going to take a very early stab at Cam Waters to win the championship, but my smoky would be Andre Heimgartner.
That's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to supercars. I'm going to go with Brock Feeney. He's going to get it.
Mr. Sunday.
Mr. Sunday. Alex, Ed, Ben, anyone want to chime in?
Forgive me because obviously it's not a series that I follow nearly as closely. I know Brody Kostecki is also flirting with NASCAR in a not too distant future. Is he running full time still in 2024 supercars?
Yeah.
I'll just take a shot in the dark and go with Kostecki then.
I was going to do the same, so I'll go with Brody.
Yeah, same.
Same team, same Chevrolet. What could go wrong, really? Now, the one series that the championship did come to the last race, besides NASCAR because they had the playoffs, MotoGP. I'll kick this off and then I'll go to Matt. Anyone else that wants to chime in? I think we're going to see Jorge Martin get the job done and be the first non-factory rider to get it. Matt, who do you think?
I would love to see that, but the first non-factory rider to win the MotoGP championship in 2024 will be Marc Marquez.
Oh, man. Anybody else has a prediction for MotoGP?
Maybe Pecco Bagnaia goes back to back, but again, not a series I follow as closely, so I'll defer to the expertise of you and Matt on that one. But if I had to make a pick, I would say, go with the guy that just won it last year.
I'll also go with Pecco Bagnaia because that's the name I hear every week I do a show here. And I don't know anything about him, but y'all talk about him a lot, so I'll go with him.
Is Cal Crutchlow still in MotoGP? I think he might.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, well, I was going to go with Bagnaia as well because I always seem to predict him win and then he'd win in Pick a Winner. So despite me not watching, I don't think a single MotoGP race last year. So I saw a little bit of one race by accident. But
Now, Ed, going to you for this one. Formula E. Who is your way too early prediction?
Oh god, I hadn't thought about this because you hadn't written it down. I think the safe prediction is probably going to be one of the Porsche or Jaguar powered entrants. I think the smart money would be one of the Jaguars, so sort of Mitch Evans or Nick Cassidy, who nearly won it last year. I think I'm going to go a little outside the box. I'm going to go for Robin Freins because I think Robin he's such a good driver. He's sort of not won in a long time in Formula E. He had that year at where he broke his arm, but I think he got a pole position after that as well in Berlin. I forgot to mention that in the sort of wet conditions. I think Robin Freins hasn't really lost a step. I think he's going to fit. It's still the same people that work at Envision, so he's going to slot right back in there. And I think he's going to show Boemi how it's done. And I think he's going to take a surprise title while the Jaguars are too busy crashing into each other and maybe a couple of slip-ups from other teams as well.
I got to say, I'm thinking it's going to be a Jaguar, and I think it's going to be Nick Cassidy. He nearly got it done. I think he's going to bring something new to that team, and they're going to start off strong. Matt, Ben, Alex, your thoughts on Formula E?
I agree with you, Joe. I was going to go with Cassidy as well.
That's going to be
get a little bit of a shot in the dark. But I've liked this guy ever since he scored a point in a manor in 2016. I feel like he really didn't get a fair shot in Formula One. I'm going to say Pascal Wehrlein. He might break through and take a Formula E title next year.
Pascal will be very interesting. You were going to say something, Ed?
Yeah, no, just I feel like Pascal was sort of in the mix for a long while last season, and it was qualifying that was really Porsche's Achilles heel. They had way too much work to do in the races, and inevitably they'd run into trouble, sadly. But their pace was very, very good. It's just a shame from their point of view that Jaguar sort of got the hang of their powertrain later in the season, and Porsche started off really strong and then sort of faded away near the end. But yeah, I think him and Da Costa will be very, very determined to fight back. So yeah, I guess all eyes on Porsche.
All eyes going to be on Porsche. Comment in the chat room. Hopefully F1 will have a call closer racing, because I am about to just stop watching it in favor of IndyCar. Very interesting. Alex, it looked like you had something to say. Or
I think they should watch IndyCar regardless. IndyCar is fantastic.
You can watch both. Or F1
both.
just watch all second place onwards. It tends to be quite exciting.
Yeah.
Or do what a lot of us here at Grid Network do. We watch. I mean, Matt, you had what, 200 races plus you watched? No, 300.
I wish if it was only 200, that would have been lovely. But it was actually 820 races that I watched in the calendar year of 2023. Yes, I know.
Wow.
You don't have to tell me.
Grid Network, Grid Ranking, and of course the Grid Endurance Performance Index 2024. That should be exciting. We'll see if Max Verstappen could get that, and especially also for the EPI. Now, this is going to be something fun. Something.
Are we doing World Rally? That's the only Grid Ranking
World Rally.
we haven't done yet, right?
Yeah, we almost skipped the World Rally Championship. Matt, who do you think is going to get that? Because that's going to be wide open this year.
We could have a situation where Ogier and Rovanpera, who are only doing part seasons, win every time they're entered, but don't end up winning the championship, which is going to be really strange. It has to be Elvin Evans' time. He's now the Toyota team leader for the season, waving my British flag from across the border from Wales. I'm going to go with Elvin.
Yeah.
So I might go way different on this one. I think Autonic and the Hyundai is going to get it done and end the Toyota Gazoo streak in World Rally Championships. That is my somewhat, I guess you could say, bold prediction. Ed, Alex, Ben, any thoughts on World Rally Championship?
Yeah, I'm again mostly deferring to Matt here, but Elfin Evans was the name that first came to mind for me, so I will go alongside Matt there and pick Evans as well.
Going to be really interesting, a lot of fun for 2024.